Welcome back to the show. Today we are diving into a subject that we all need to talk about this time of year. Our guest is Jeanne Williams, who is managing partner for Fortune in Texas. She's an executive coach, behavioral expert, and a woman who spent more than 3 decades helping leaders, doctors, and other teams thrive, really, in that business realm. But the holidays are just around the corner. And emotions run high. It can be a very difficult time of the year for folks. And stress and all those kinds of things can creep in. And Jeanne, I'm just delighted that we can sit and talk. Normally, when we're together, we're singing somewhere.
We're singing most always. And that is fun.
And so, and it's wonderful. And what a beautiful voice you have, and how wonderful to hear you perform. So we've never really talk much about your day job.
I know. I was thinking about when I met Anne, and I think probably it was through the symphony when you used to, when you would always, maybe you still are doing some of that, but you were always the MC for the children's concert.
I'm still doing
and
it.
I was
Coming up in
the
March.
Children's concert together.
Yeah.
And that's probably when I first met you and saw, because I knew you from television, but getting to know you has been such a delightful journey. And you're so talented, and you have so many gifts. Your singing is beautiful, and I know you love the classical music and the jazz and all the styles.
We love it all. And you had done Therapy 8. I mean, it was an effort to bring music to help people with their emotions and stress levels.
Yes, we called it stages at the time.
Stages,
and the stages of life and the stages of the psychological, emotional health. And so our Therapy Center stage was the tagline was bringing the spotlight to mental health through the expressive arts, thinking that art and music, theater, all kinds of expressive arts are healing agents for people who are struggling, and a lot of people are struggling. So that's been fun. That organization's been a lot of fun.
Well, that, and I've seen that through my work with the Junior League of Waco for many, many years, going to the facilities, the senior care facilities, and singing and seeing how, some of the little people were just seemed so sad, and then the music would just perk them up, and they'd be singing along, and
I think
you just see a change in their countenance.
In the brain where someone who has severe dementia can light up, the brain will light up with music, and they can remember the words and speak again. Yeah. It's pretty fascinating, isn't it, how the brain works?
It truly is. It truly is.
Yeah, so anyway.
So Jeanne, why at this time of the year people seem so overwhelmed?
Well, I think, we have 3 holidays back to back. We have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, and then New Year's. And so for people of probably all countries are celebrating these holidays somehow in the world. And it's those are the times when families get together and friends join together. And a lot of people have had some trauma, or life has happened in the year. Maybe they've lost a loved one, or they've had a divorce, or perhaps they've got some sort of really severe illness that has come upon them or a family member. And so being together at the holidays sometimes is a sad time for people, because they have to be together and sort of face those challenges. I think personally, Anne, that people tend to shove things under the rug and deal with them the best they can. But during the holidays, I don't think we shove it very well. I think it's just present. So there's a lot of going in the holidays. People get tired, physically tired. The physical emotion is related to the emotional body, So, I mean, emotional health is physical health, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I will say for women, it seems like, they kind of bear the brunt of the food preparation and the shopping and the getting everything decorated and all of the things that go along with the holidays, and that can just add to stress levels.
Absolutely. And I think, women in particular, we could do a whole podcast just on women through the holidays. But women in particular tend to carry a lot of, at least in our generation, a lot of the family load for making sure everything's happening on time. And, I'll say this, since we were talking about music, I've always said my mother gave me and father gave me the best gift of my life, teaching me music and letting me learn music and love music. But it was kind of a curse, because in the holidays, you're really busy if you're a musician.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a night that you're not performing or singing or going to a concert or teaching students that are going to a concert. So it's been, I think it's a blessing and a curse in some ways to be a
I think
musician
so.
at the holidays.
And for a singer who's done a lot of Christmas music, it's like, oh, I do not want to
Yeah.
hear. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas
I
for
know,
a
I know,
long
I know.
time.
I know.
I don't want to hear this yet.
I know. We went to Branson. I'd never been to Branson, Missouri.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
we went a couple of weeks ago for 2 days.
Uh-huh.
And Halloween ended, and the next day they started the Christmas
Oh,
music,
yeah.
and we got a kick out of that. But yeah, some of those songs get a little old.
Oh, man.
But
Oh,
I
man.
love the concerts, and I love the spiritual aspect of Christmas and music is a great healer for people. So I'm glad
Mhm.
I'm glad we have that at the holidays.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what are some of the early signs, though, of emotional overload? And, and what kind of
Yeah.
intervention could happen maybe before it gets too bad? For
Right.
me, I'm just sitting sort of catatonically, like,
Yeah, well,
what am
I
I
think
going to do
that's
next?
a very important sign when we're really looking at our bodies and taking a scan of our emotional health. I think you're right. That just sort of catatonic moment where you're not truly catatonic, but where you're just sort of
Just,
numb. Um,
I can't think of the next thing to
yeah,
do.
exactly. There's a book by Bessel van der Kolk called "The Body Keeps a Score," and it's a fabulous book. If your listeners have not read it, it's a must read book. The Body Keeps a Score, because the body responds first, and then the cerebral area of our brain puts it together and tells us what's going on. And I think for people during the holidays that are stressed, anxiety and depression is kind of like a flip of a coin. If you have a quarter, you've got the heads and the tail.
Hmm.
Anxiety is one side and depression is the other side. It
Really?
manifests a little differently with all of us, right? Depending on how we have learned to handle stressors and traumas through our childhood. And so I do think we need to be aware of those stressors. And so anxiety, depression can look in many different forms. People can go distant. Maybe someone doesn't call their parent for a few weeks and the parent thinks they do not love them. Really, the person wants to call their parents, but they're upset. They're having a hard time. They don't want their parents to know they're having a hard time. So there's all those
Mm.
layers of depression and anxiety. And there are a lot of tools. The good news is there are a lot of coping skills for
Hmm.
people
Yeah,
during
like what?
those. Well, for instance, people with anxiety tend to end up having sometimes panic attacks
Yeah,
where
I've heard
they're
of panic
just
attacks.
Mhm.
What exactly is
Well, the
that?
first time someone had one in my psych office, I was a first year counselor, therapist, psychotherapist, and someone had a panic attack in my office, and I thought I was a brand new counselor. I thought that she was dying.
Really?
It was really scary, even watching it. I'd never had one. I have had a little anxiety in my life, but never a panic attack. I ran next door. Many of you know Clay Sawyer.
Hmm.
I ran next door to Clay Sawyer and said, Clay, this woman's having, I think she's dying.
Having a seizure
I
or
don't know if
something.
Clay even remembers that,
Yeah.
but no, she wasn't dying. She was having a panic attack. And
Mm.
honestly, I don't think anyone has ever died from a panic attack,
Hmm.
but it feels like they're dying.
Well,
It
I mean,
feels
their
like they're
heart
suffocating. Their heart
races. I mean,
races.
they actually
Yes,
feel physical
exactly.
thing.
If you think about it, people that anxiety can have sort of a positive and a negative. Like if you win the lottery,
Yeah.
your heart will race.
Oh, yeah.
You might have shortness of breath. You might be, like shaking a little bit. And, but if you find out that a loved one has passed away suddenly, your heart may race, you're short of breath, and you'll be shaking. And the symptoms for happiness and extreme sudden
Mm.
sadness can be very similar.
Mhm.
It's just with happiness, they calm down, and with sadness, they tend to exacerbate, for a long time. So,
Mhm.
anyway, I think
Mhm.
some tools would be the stop routine when you feel yourself having anxiety. I love the stop routine. It's stop and be still. And the T is take a deep breath. And the O is observe your surroundings. Look outside. Find something green,
Mhm.
these beautiful flowers here,
Mhm.
and observe your surroundings. It takes your mind off that anxiety. It distracts and changes your focus. And then the P would be prepare to feel differently. Prepare a better thought. Tell yourself a better story. Prepare to act on it in a way that you can go for a jog or do some things. Now, I can list a bunch of things for anxiety if you want me to, but
Mhm.
that's a little bit of
Well,
that.
that's good. It's important for us really to kind of set boundaries. So
Yeah.
when we know that stressors are kind of
Mhm.
creeping in.
Yeah, knowing yourself. Now,
Yeah.
and you're the one because I'm sure Christmas for you is as busy as it is for anybody I've ever known. So what do you do to keep the stress down in the holidays?
Well, I I do try. I'm trying to get better at planning ahead.
Uh-huh.
If I
That's a
can
good
get
one.
some things
Yeah.
done ahead of time, um, presents bought and stuff like that, things,
Yes.
and get it all together. I haven't assembled the packages yet, but I'm a good ways, So it's not going to be a last minute.
Yes.
It's the last minute. Oh my gosh, I got to get this, got to get that. That kind of thing is.
It's interesting you say that. Interesting that you say that because I've heard that anxiety is a lot of anxiety and feeling those feelings of that stress is that we have projects that we need to have done,
Right.
whether it's cooking dinner or buying presents or getting ready for a podcast or whatever. We have projects, building a building, maybe a big project, maybe a business project, and we're not getting it done and we're putting it off because we have other things, and that's what's causing the anxiety. So I
Yeah.
think that's really a great tool to get ahead of that.
Yeah, procrastination has
Yeah.
kind of been a
Been-
issue.
I think
For
many
me.
of us can relate.
Yeah,
Well, it's
you know.
not that you're procrastinating that. It's just that you're doing something else, right?
That's right. Yeah, I would rather do.
That's right. Exactly.
So, communication. We talked about families are together,
Yeah.
and it's important that there be
Mm-hmm.
communication because sometimes family members you see them a couple of
Yeah,
times a year.
exactly.
You don't get to spend a lot of time with them. What are some ways to kind of facilitate healthy conversations?
Yeah, I think unfortunately, you don't see very many classes in school on communication, healthy
Yeah.
communication. So we learn it from our parents, from our families, and our friends. And so communication patterns can be healthy or unhealthy. And I think the most healthy communication patterns are those that are affirmative,
Mhm.
honest, and very forthright. Being able to tell someone what you think and how you feel without hurting them tremendously is a real art, honestly, that many people don't have. So I think for families at the holidays, especially with politics, and
Well,
I'm just
you
we've
hear
had
about even prominent people
Yeah.
who have cut themselves off
off from their
from family
families.
members because they didn't vote the way they thought they should. And
Yeah.
you just don't talk about that stuff. And
Just don't talk about it. That's right.
It's kind of my
s-
attitude.
I agree. It's sad because I think politicians are politicians. Their job is to speak whatever they need to for their cause, and it's like winning a game. They have to win their game, whether they're no matter what side. But people get so embroiled in the issues sometimes that I think they lose focus of the people that they love the most, that mean the most to them. And so that would be one thing, is to leave those conversations at home. I think to
Yeah.
really plan to get together for the holidays. Getting together I think is more difficult than it used to be. People, when I was growing up, all the cousins lived close.
Right.
Yeah. Now all my cousins, we all live far away.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and then just making sure that that when we do get together, we have quality conversations and maybe play some games, do something that's more lighthearted, with family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Make it fun. Make it fun.
Yeah.
So many things. You want to remember the season for the joy that it brings,
Yeah.
not for the fights over the
Yes,
dinner table.
yes.
But what was the old adage? You didn't never talk about politics or religion.
That's right.
At the,
That's right. Now
at the dinner table.
Well, and there's a saying: would you rather be right or be in a relationship?
Yeah.
Well, would you rather choose to be right or have that relationship? And I think most of us would choose to be in the relationship. So we don't always have to be right. Although that's hard for me sometimes because I think I'm right a lot sometimes. Just ask my kids, ask my husband.
And
they'll tell you.
my humble opinion, which is correct, my correct but humble
That's
opinion.
right.
Oh man, so much more I want to talk about.
I
There's just lots
know.
more when it comes to holidays and the
Yeah.
things that we deal with at this time of year. But we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
I want to let you know that today's show is brought to you by Gather and Co. Kitchen and Bath. They are transforming houses into homes. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit propmoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At Covers and All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Designs with Jamie and Chaw Community are coming together on December 13th to organize and host their annual Black, Indigenous, and POC-owned Sip and Shop Market. Act Locally Waco and Chaw Community want minority-owned businesses in town to continue to shine and showcase their handmade goods this holiday season. So, Chaw Community will be featuring a dozen local and Texas-baked makers and creatives in the market alongside their buy one, get one tea and classic drinks special throughout the event. Mission Waco's art program, Urban Expressions, will be hosting an artisan market on Saturday, December 13th. The market is meant to spotlight local Waco artists and artisans who will display and sell all of their work. They have artisans of all types, perfect for your holiday shopping, as well as fun activities for the whole family. This event will be hosted in the parking lot space behind Mission Waco's World Cup Cafe and the Fair Trade Market. I'm Elizabeth Riley with Act Locally Waco, and I'll see you all next time.
And we are back with Jeanne Williams.
Yay.
And your career has dealt a lot with business leaders, with physicians, dental practices,
Yes,
right?
dental practices, yes. And
Yeah.
I own my own psych practice. So, I love business.
Right,
I love
right.
business.
And this, year end kind of thing is sort of where we are now. So how do you recommend leaders balance their work and then the holiday pressures?
Absolutely. That's a great question. I think for sure we work. Why do we work? Well, we work so that we can, well, for many reasons, have purpose in life. We work so that we can make a good living, so we can provide for our families. We work so that we can achieve some goal that we've set. There's many reasons that we work, and some people work because they feel guilty if they don't work, if they've been
Yeah.
raised in that sort of
They're
family.
just a workaholic.
That's right. But I think the bottom line is, if we're working mostly because we want to really provide for our families and bring purpose to our life and to the lives of others, then it's really important that we have a really healthy workplace and that we have a healthy sense of work versus play. So I believe if you love what you do, it's not work.
Yeah.
It's just not work. And I bet you do love
Yeah,
what you do.
I do,
Have you
I do.
always loved what you do?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
obvious.
I mean it's not work then. It's just
It's not
look.
work,
I mean
yeah.
we're sitting here talking.
I know,
as
we're having
friends. I
fun.
love it.
I know, me too.
What's not to love
You
about
have the
this?
best job.
I really do. Up
do.
here on the
But I
21st
do
floor
think
of the Alico.
people
Yeah.
do struggle with work. They have deadlines, and my family would tell you that I'm here. I'm in a birthday party. Then I'm over there talking to someone on the phone. It's really hard to balance, especially if you own your own business. If you're an
Right.
entrepreneur, entrepreneurs tend to be very lonely, I think, unless they have a group or a coach or a mindset group, mastermind group, where they can. I had a business person call me recently in tears, just needed to talk. So I think that is what you're talking about is very difficult, balancing the difference between work and family and keeping that intact. I know at the holidays it's harder, especially if you work right up to Christmas.
Yeah.
And I will say, in our generation, especially for women, trying to get everything ready,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
work to the end.
Doing all the things.
Yes.
Yeah. With teams though in the office place, everybody's kind of juggling schedules and
Yes.
some people are off and that can create more stress to the ones who are left behind trying to keep everything going. How do you recommend those kinds of challenges around the holidays?
Well, yes, I think that teams, people who own a business, when they have a group of people, employees working for them, creating a wonderful, is it Jeff Bezos that had the dog sitters, and they had the veterinarian down at the bottom, and they had this gym, and, you could leave your work and go work out and go back, trying to create it might not have been Jeff Bezos, but I think it was creating a really healthy environment for people. But just keeping a team energized and excited and feeling supported, communicating well, not having drama in the office. Those are things that are really hard to achieve.
That's hard, yeah.
It takes a really strong leader, because I think as a leader, people tend to not want to get too close to their team because they want to be able to be the boss, but they really have to love their team
Right.
more than correct them. You want to hold them accountable to good work. I don't know if I'm answering your question quite
Well,
right.
I think of the term servant leader.
Yeah,
With
absolutely.
the really great leaders who, their employees would, crawl over broken glass for them.
And get them training, teach them how to love each other, how to really put each other first. If they have a conflict, how to resolve that conflict by going straight to that person and not to Susie and Josie.
Oh, yeah.
And around the corner to get it resolved. So those are things that really hurt a workplace, I think, when communication, the people in a workplace make it or break it. Like you've been to different places and you walk in a hotel or a restaurant and you feel like, wow, they just wowed me, right?
Yeah.
And you've been in those places where you're like, wow, they really didn't wow me. I may not come back.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
maybe it wasn't a horrible experience, but you've seen the difference between a really peak performing team versus a non. Those peak performing teams have systems and they've been trained and they're held accountable and they're loved.
Wow.
I think so.
You hear about the term about being grounded.
Yes.
What are some ways for? Well, how do you stay grounded? With
Well,
you do have a lot of pressure
yes,
pulling on you.
Well, I don't even feel pressure often. I think because I don't know, I've just been going and blowing for so long. But my grounding tool is prayer for me. Prayer is my grounding tool, and I'll share this because I don't have the study. I'll have to maybe look that up. But several years ago, I did a workshop on stress in the workplace, and they did all this study across. It was like an international study where they asked people, what was the most calming thing, and so to calm your emotions and de-stress, was it yoga? They listed like yoga, and they listed exercise, they listed nutrition, they listed talk therapy, they listed all these different things. And the number one that came up as the way to really reduce their anxiety was prayer. No matter what the religion, just prayer. Just getting centered and grounded and reaching out to that higher power and feeling a sense of letting it go.
Right.
For
If you
many people that
believe, then
works. Yes.
we're not to carry the burden.
Yes, yeah. And for people that don't, I think meditation would be the next,
Right.
best tool. Just getting really into a nice state of breathing, and so I don't think about the breathing aspect personally, but when you get into that state of focus.
Yeah. Have you done yoga? Have you?
Oh
ever?
yes, I love yoga.
Well, the breathing part really
have
is.
you?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's been a long time since I've had the opportunity to do it, but yeah, even like sitting at a light, in the car,
Yes.
to think about doing
Yes.
that. I mean, there's something to it.
Yeah. Well,
Not number one, you're getting maybe a little more oxygen to the little gray cells.
Well, I don't know how deep you want me to go into this, but I'd love to visit a little bit about that. Stephen Porges has the polyvagal theory. It's one of the more recent theories in psychology, and it's great because he talks about the 600 million year brain, which is our digestive system.
Okay.
Where 600 million years ago, we had anemones and jellyfish, and they just had a digestive system.
Right.
And then the 300 million year brain is when we finally had the heart, the respiratory system developed 300 million years ago. Isn't that crazy? And so, then you have geckos that freeze when you walk next to them. They panic and freeze, but they don't have a cerebral cortex. They can't think like we humans can.
Right.
So the now brain is here, and we focus on our now brain for cognitive behavioral healing and techniques. But truly, polyvagal theory is the vagal nerve, the dorsal vagal system goes all the way down into your gut, all the way up to the medulla, and so we can't sometimes, our body processes first before our brain does. And so yoga and meditation and deep breathing exercises calms down the heart rate, calms down the digestive system. I mean, think about it. If you're upset, you have a queasy stomach or your heart races or something. So I am talking way too fast.
No.
But
That's
I think
great. Yeah.
I think it's really important that we realize there is a physiological reason that deep breathing works. Yeah, and it's a great tool. So
Yeah.
people should use it.
Yeah. Another tool. This next question: how can individuals avoid overcommitting emotionally
you're
or
asking
socially?
the wrong person.
Yeah,
you know that, don't you?
both of us. I'd say we're both.
Yeah.
Bruce Geetson, my former co-anchor, gave me a red no button and a green yes button, and he said, "And you're not using that no button enough. Keep hitting the yes button."
Yeah, both of my brothers, whom I don't see very often, have talked to me lately about that very thing. About you need to kind of just back off a little bit and slow down. And
Yeah.
How you tell me what's the secret?
I don't know,
You don't
because
know.
anything I'm invited to, I want to go to it.
I do too.
I just,
It's in.
if I can, it's.
Don't want to miss out, right?
Yeah, I guess what is it? Fear of missing out. Yeah.
I think truly it's for probably you too, and it's just I love people,
Yeah.
and I love interacting with people. I love seeing people change. I love people's lives changing for the better, and I just like being involved in anything that has to do with that. So I don't have a stop button, and I get that from my mom
Yeah.
and probably my grandmom. Who knows? But
Right. But there is such a thing as holiday perfectionism.
yeah, there is.
And so, as we were getting things decorated and getting things going, I'll never forget hearing a famous local designer tell a group of ladies, the Christmas police will not come and get you if you don't put out every Christmas decoration you own.
Why do you think we have that pressure? We kind of do. Give it to ourselves.
Yeah, but I've got all these Christmas and I love them. But
I know.
you just can't do it all.
You can't do it all and go all the time.
And go.
Unless you have someone do it for you. But the fun is in doing
that's
it,
true.
right? The fun is in putting it out,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's getting to be less fun.
Me
but
too. Me too.
It's getting more difficult.
I know.
And the way time flies, Jeannie, it's like, didn't I just put this stuff up?
I remember when I was young. I had the garland up the staircase, and
yes.
it was a serious thing, and I really don't care anymore as much.
I know.
I want some lights somewhere.
Yeah, let's have some lights, maybe light a candle.
That's right.
I don't know.
But I'm not sure about asking about perfectionism. I think
I
think it's
I
truly
gave that up a long time
it's
ago.
probably a nature and nurtured evolution for people. People are born kind of that way, and sometimes they're nurtured to be that way. I'm certainly not that perfection. I'm perfectionistic about integrity, about showing up and doing what I said I would do, those sorts of things. But
exactly, yeah.
But and I like my house clean, but I'm not perfectionistic at many of those household duties.
Right.
So I would say I'm not a very good advisor on that one.
Oh, but the holidays though can be kind of a way to amplify grief. You mentioned with folks. who've
I think
lost
people
a
are in
loved one.
trouble during the holidays.
So what guidance do you have for someone who's been through a loss?
Yeah. Reach out to someone. If you have anyone if you don't have anyone, find someone. Get connected to someone that's safe, that you can be with. You don't have to talk about the problems, but just being with another human being that cares. Spending time in isolation is the worst thing that someone can do ever. And also, I think, getting outside and getting some vitamin D. Vitamin D's really, truly, we've been given all this, don't go outside in the sun, you'll get skin cancer. And I'm certainly not a doctor, so I'm not advising, but I do know that if we don't have vitamin D levels that are high, we have depression. And it's so wonderful. You just have the lights, and so get outside, walk, do some physical. There's a saying that if you're feeling depressed, move your body.
Okay.
If you're feeling depressed, move your body. So I think connecting with anybody, whether it's by phone or, text message. We've got so many ways to connect now. Find someone to connect to that will listen, that will love you and hug you. Physical touch is very important too.
Well, and it is, and it's important to, anymore you have to kind of make time to be with friends. And because, again, we talk about these these devices, which are great in so many
They
ways, but
are.
on the other hand, they've kind of caused us to be even more isolated.
They have, and I always say we're so connected now that we're disconnected. You know,
Mhm.
you won't send a text back to someone, but you thought you sent it, but you didn't push send. Have you ever done that?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then maybe they have their feelings hurt because you didn't respond, but you didn't intend to hurt their feelings. So there's a lot of miscommunication in this technology we have. I want to go back though to that isolation during the holidays and depression in the holidays. I think that people need to be able to have a sense of gratitude, and I think a purposeful gratitude mantra. Like I love the red truck exercise. If you've ever been a client in my psychotherapy office, you've probably heard about the red truck exercise. But it's like if you are driving down the highway, you see a red truck, a red stop sign, a red stop light, anything red. Tell yourself this little mantra, this little sentence, you know, I am grateful for, or my life is good because, or from now on, I will not let this bother me. Just say it over and over every time you see a red truck. Give yourself some tools to practice gratitude. Get a gratitude journal and write in it every day. That would be a really huge thing to do. And we are depressed sometimes because we tell ourselves a story that is depressing. We can tell ourselves a different story. We can take a story, you know, if someone we love passed away, that's a sad story. But we can tell ourselves a different story, what a great life that person lived and how impactful that person was in our life and how we're going to take some of those things and share with. I mean, there's a way to twist and turn the story so that it's a better story and you feel better. It's really powerful to be able to tell yourself a better story.
Yeah, I'd never heard that trick about the red truck, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like that. Just
Yeah.
something totally random in a way
Mm-hmm.
to just cause that reminder.
Anchors it in, and you're practicing a little mantra that becomes sort of just a part of who you are, your psyche, right? Eventually, it's a habit that you're just saying that to yourself, and that's really an important tool. And my clients have found that really useful. So, hopefully, that will help somebody.
Oh, that's good. How can folks connect with you and learn more about your work?
Oh, well, I'm a therapist. I work from home now with my little computer. It's just awesome. I love it. When COVID happened, I left the office for a year. We all did. And went virtual. That was a big challenge for some old girl like me. And then we went back the next summer, and I went back in July, and I had a week of therapy, a full week. And then the next week, my first client at 8:00 called the night before and said she couldn't come in because she had COVID. And I thought about it. I don't, you know, the 2021 COVID was pretty bad, really.
Yeah.
There were a lot of deaths during that time. And
yeah.
it had kind of gone away and then came back, remember, a little bit. So I guess it never went away, but it felt like it had. And so I decided to just go back home and stay home and not put anybody at risk. Everybody, almost, not everybody, but I would say 90% of everyone who comes to therapy online has a dog in their lap. It's unbelievable. Dogs are saving the world. And
Yeah.
I'm not a huge dog person, but so I do therapy at home. If they want to connect with me, you know, I'm a therapist, and I also do speaking events. And I would just call me up. Find me on my social media, and we'll find a chance to talk. And I do a lot of referrals. I don't see a lot of clients that are new now. I see mostly people that I've seen forever, but I do a ton of referrals. And
Yeah. Well, I like to end these little visits with it's a questionnaire similar to the one the late
Oh,
great James
yes.
Lipton used on Inside the Actor's Studio. Do you
I
remember
do know that show. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, this is my take on it, so I'm going to ask you, Jeanne Williams, what is your favorite word?
Gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite word.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how the world is going to survive. You know, we're going to all have to really find a way to be grateful and overcome the things that we feel that are differences. Gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it anchors me.
You see a lot of these TikTok videos and stuff that particularly younger people just whining about having to
Yeah.
go to work and having to get,
Yeah.
it's like, you have a job. You know?
Tell yourself a different story.
Yeah, tell
You
yourself
have a different story. That's right. Right.
Okay. Do you have a least favorite word?
Yeah, let's see. Least favorite word. I should have prepared better for this. Least favorite word.
You're not supposed to know these
Oh,
questions
no,
ahead
okay.
of time.
Well, I was thinking about what you might ask. I think my least favorite word would be, I can't. Or it's 2 words, can't.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Uh-huh.
I hear that
Yeah.
a lot. People, don't tell me can't be
I
done.
mean,
can't be done.
there are times when you can't. I
Right.
mean, I can't be young anymore, and I can be, but I can do my best to keep my body as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I can't be, I can't be a lot of things, but I think, to live in that mindset of can't is not helpful to me. So
Not at
yeah.
all. What turns you on creatively, spiritually,
Yeah.
or emotionally?
Connecting therapeutic tools, counseling tools, connecting the emotional fitness aspect of our lives to the arts. I love connecting it to the arts, and
So when
and
are we going to do another
well,
stages?
we've got a little something coming up maybe in the spring
Okay.
for Therapy Center Stage, but I'm not going to talk about it today because I don't have it sealed. But it would be really, really special. And if when we do our thing, I want you to be involved, please.
Well, yeah, I mean, or at least come on and talk about it.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
always tried to do the stages with some sort of psychological knowledge so that people could take it home and you enjoy the experience. And we do Spotlight Socials still as well, so that's fun.
Yeah,
And anybody can come to our Spotlight Socials. We have those periodically where we sing or we have some art or someone plays a harp or something fun,
Good.
musical art-wise. And yeah.
Okay.
That's-
Well, that's
yep.
good. What turns you off creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Creatively, spiritually, emotionally. But it's hard for me to think about the turnoff. I think, okay, I don't want to get into a deep conversation, but I believe that film needs to be careful because I think there's some subliminal and non-subliminal messages in film that really impression children and people. And people are shaped so easily by what they see. The visual, the hearing, it's all there together. And I think visually, it's really important that we really protect the kids. And not just that, but with video games and all those. So
Yeah.
I guess that turns me off
Yeah.
creatively. That I wouldn't want to be involved in any of that.
Yeah. What is your favorite sound?
My favorite sound. Golly, these are hard, Ann. My favorite sound. Probably the laughter of my grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The laughter of my grandchildren.
Yeah.
And I have 9 of those, so I get a lot of that.
I know.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, least favorite sound.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, this morning my fire alarm went off. That
Oh.
wasn't good. That wasn't good. I think screeching sounds. Screeching
they're annoying
sounds.
for a
These are
reason.
pretty basic, aren't they? I'm not very creative with my
No,
answers.
they
but
want to get your attention, but nobody wants
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hear them.
Yeah.
So was there a job or a profession or something you always kind of wanted to do, wanted to try?
Oh gosh, I think I've done. I started as a music teacher, and then I went to be a school counselor, and then I became a psychotherapist in private practice, and still am. Loved that. Have loved that. I feel like we've maybe saved some lives. You never know
Oh,
through
I'm
the
sure
years.
you have.
And then I've loved being a business coach as well because honestly, about age 55, I was sitting all day. As a therapist, you get up and you walk to the front and you bring another client back and you just sit all day.
Yeah.
And it was great when I was young. I was very active, but I got to the age where it felt very much like I was just sitting like a lump and I needed to do something more different. But what could I do? And so to take cognitive behavioral strategies and utilize them with businesses so that teams could do better. And then I love business anyway and help businesses grow and become their best versions of themselves. So I got off topic there, I think, but that's been my career. And I think the next thing I'll do is I've kind of got a book started. I've got several ideas for books, but I've got one started. And
Oh, really?
maybe
Have you
I'll
written
do.
before? Have you published
Never,
before?
never have.
Oh,
I mean,
there
I've
you
written a
go.
lot of things like
Yeah.
diagrams and things, but I've not.
Right.
No, never that. But I got a lot of things to say that nobody probably wants to read, but it'll be helpful to write it.
Hey, I think just compile what we've talked
Yeah, I
about
think
today is all valuable
That'd
stuff.
be fun.
What job do you know, though, you don't want? Let somebody else do that.
Oh boy, there's a ton of those. I don't want to be a politician. I would
Oh,
not
yeah,
want to be a
speaking of which,
politician.
yeah.
I don't think I would want to be a lot of things. Actually, there are so many jobs in the world that people do that are just like plumbers and
We're so
and
grateful
electricians.
that
They
they
climb
do
through
that.
attics and things. I don't want to do that.
In the heat.
In the heat, and
in
it's
the cold, they're
nasty, and-
digging in a, fixing a pipe or something in the wet.
Yeah.
No, I know. We're grateful for them, but
We are grateful for them, but we don't want to have to do them. So
yeah, no thanks.
yeah, those are good questions.
Okay, so one last one.
Okay.
When you arrive at the pearly gates, what do you want to hear the Lord say?
Oh, I want to hear the Lord say, "Would you be in the choir?"
He'd be crazy
Can I
not to
get-
have you in the
If
choir.
he doesn't let me be in the choir, I'll ask if I can be in the choir
Please, let me see.
because I do have a saying that I think that nurses and teachers are going to be sitting at Jesus' feet
Yeah.
because they're saving the world. And I believe that. And I hope I get in the choir. I always say that. I hope I get to sing in the choir. I hope I just at least make it into the choir. But no, I have a ton of questions.
Yeah.
But we're really grateful to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is so fun. It's such a blessing for me to get to visit with you
It's
and
been
hear
fun.
your heart and hear your wonderful intellect and all the experience that you have in helping people through tough things. I mean, that's a hard.
Well, I haven't really done hard work in my life. A lot of people have a hard life, but mine's been really a generous life for me. And the psych field has been particularly good for me because it feeds me as much as I hope that it feeds other people. And so it's been a great ride so far.
Yeah.
But we're not done, Ann.
Oh no, heavens no. And we've got Christmas coming up and
Yes.
so
So
pray that it's a blessed time for you and your family.
thank you. And I pray
all
that
those grandkids all get together
and all your listeners that they get to take it to heart and really put themselves first and lean into that deep breathing and some of those red truck exercises and enjoy the holidays. Tell themselves a really great story. That sounds like a good thing.
Good word.
Thanks for
That's a good
having
word.
me today.
Thank you,
I
Jeannie.
feel so honored.
Well, I mean, you need to be a regular. So
Well, I'm
we
a
need to have you
fan.
come
I'm an
back.
Ann fan. So I
Well, it
I
is a
hope you're.
mutual admiration
I know that all
society.
of your listeners know how amazing you are. We all in Waco know that. So
Well, love having you here today.
thanks, friend.
Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead, and I'll tell you today's show is brought to you by Fox & Co. Bakery, where we bake foxy things.
I love it.
A big thank you to our sponsor, Fox & Co. Bakery. Check them out for delicious baked goods and your catering needs.
Serving Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. At TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, Your Bank for Life.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Hey Waco, meet your new favorite email. It's called the Waco Buzz, the local newsletter that skips crime and chaos and gets straight to the good stuff. New restaurants, hidden gems, weekend events, and stories that make you proud to call Waco home. It's quick, free, and written by people who love Waco as much as you do. Join thousands of neighbors who already start their mornings with the Waco Buzz at thewacobuzz.com.
Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
It's not just a glove, It's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com.
Welcome back to the show. I am so happy to have Dr. Kerry and Zamore Byrd here with us to talk about an event that's coming up on Saturday at Marie's.
Yes, it's a sip and sign.
Sip and sign. And what you'll be signing is Soul Talk.
Yes.
Volume 4.
Soul Talk Volume 4 is an anthology. It's my new book, and I'm very, very excited to be a part of stories of women who have learned to let go and let God. And so we'll be doing a sip and sign at Marie's this Saturday at 5 o'clock.
All right. So you have one of the stories in here.
Yes.
Well, in fact, this is a group of what, 20?
It's a group of 20 women.
20
Yes.
women. And kind of give us the thumbnail sketch of what the theme is.
Right. And so the theme of it is really letting go and letting God. And so these are women from across the country. Actually, there's some women who are international as well in the book. We all came together as part of this process because we all had stories that we wanted to share, but none of us really wanted to do an entire book. And our stories somehow intertwined where we were able to meet for a year in different Zoom rooms, just having conversations about our experiences. And those Zoom conversations turned to friendships, turned into a sisterhood, turned into a volume 4 of Soul Talks.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about your story in here. It's entitled The Confrontation, How My Middle School Bully Became a Catalyst for Purpose.
Yes. Yes. And, I think it's one of the stories I have not really talked about a lot because, there's stories that you suppress. And I was bullied really, really badly in middle school.
Were you? Well, that's
I
such a
was.
hard time.
It is.
For everybody.
It is. And I think it was particularly hard for me because I was 10 years old in the 7th grade.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You must have been a prodigy.
I don't think they called it prodigy back then.
Most 10-year-olds are maybe in the 4th grade.
Somewhere like that.
Yeah.
So I was a 10-year-old in the 7th grade. I was young. I was tiny. I was this little. One of the names was Broomstick. I know. And so I was bullied badly. I think I ate my lunch in the bathroom stall. That was my safest space. And there was a girl that I was absolutely terrified of. And in the book, I share how years later, I think it was the year I turned 40, I was a keynote speaker at a conference, and I looked on the second row, and she was there. And so that is the story, how she really became a catalyst for purpose, because she was someone, and I realized at that time that I had carried her all those years, right? That from middle school to age 40, I continued to carry her. Things that she said, things that she did, it prevented me from really stepping into purpose because her voice always echoed in the back.
As they say, living rent-free in your head.
She lived rent-free in my head. She did. And so I think, seeing her and having that confrontation, it's all in the book.
What was your first thought when you saw this part? Because she had to have changed from middle school.
She had to have changed, but I recognized her.
Was.
I did. I recognized her. And I had been a speaker for so many years. But my stutter immediately came back.
Oh, no.
I used to stutter.
I had no idea you had a stutter.
I did. I had an awful stutter in middle school. And I think it stemmed from fear of my middle, but I had an awful stutter. And I remember presenting and I looked at her and I saw her and I was like, that's her. I know you. I know you anywhere. And I began to stutter and my heart was racing. And I had a lot of choice words in my head that never actually came out. But that's pretty much that was the experience. But it's in the book.
Yeah, that's right. And you start off with a scripture. I love this, Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened. Do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go.
Wherever you go.
I mean, that's such a comforting scripture, but sometimes it's hard to remember.
Right. And sometimes it's very hard to live out, right? It's very hard to live out scripture because I think I'm someone, I grew up in the church and I know scripture. And you can know scripture and not know how to live out scripture. And so when I thought of how she lived rent-free in my head for so many years, I've always known that scripture. But there were things that prevented me from truly stepping into purpose and being authentically me because, again, things that were said lived rent-free in my head, and I was unable to truly step into purpose. But I think at 40 years old, which was 10 years ago, can you imagine that? I was really able to release her. And one of the things that I really had to adopt is forgiveness is not necessarily for the person who offends.
Oh, no.
Forgiveness is really for me.
Absolutely.
It was really me releasing her and
Mhm.
letting her go. And I think the minute I was able to do that, I truly began feeling free to be authentically myself, the
Mhm.
person that God created me to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, because, I mean, children who act out that way act as bullies. There's something driving them to do that, too.
I know. She talks about it in the book.
Okay. I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to read it. But again, we are going to be meeting at
Yeah.
Marie's. Meet me at
Yes.
Marie's, as they say. They're on Austin Avenue, just across from the Hippodrome Theater. And this is going to be at 5?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's going to
on
be at 5
Saturday.
o'clock, like 5 to 7. It's just a sip and sign. It's a come and go event. Come have great conversation. I'm going to be talking about the book. I'll also be talking about some of my other books that I have there. We'll have just great conversation. And I said this is a wonderful opportunity in this season for individuals to come together and really just fellowship. Right? That's the idea
Sure.
that I had for Meet Me at Marie's.
Well, and great time of year to be thinking about
Yes.
gifts.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. You know, so many people say, oh, well, for Christmas, I like to give something they want, something they need, something to wear, and then something to read.
Something. Oh, I like that.
So
I don't think
here
I've
we
heard
go.
that.
Something to read. Soul Talk, Volume 4, soul-stirring stories of women who let go and let God.
Yeah.
And, of course, Dr. Kerry Zamore Byrd, it's always delightful to have you here to come talk about your experiences. And stay tuned. We're going to have a little more in-depth chance in the coming days. But wanted to let you all know about this coming event.
Yes.
Thank
you so much for having me.
Oh, great. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator. Welcome to Kit Bag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, for true football passion, think Kit Bag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's KITBAG.com. Kit Bag. Since 2014, we've been creating vegan, clean, and affordable skincare with proven actives and potent botanicals designed to treat your ever-changing skin. Celebrate our first decade of transformation today at facetheory.com/US-EN. Face Theory.
Tasmanian spring water range from Sand and Sky. This range is really good for dry and dehydrated skin like myself, packed with 2 types of hyaluronic acid, fermented sea kelp to reduce redness, and my skin feels so dewy and so hydrated.
I'm heading back to Tulsa without $1 to my name. If I can't find a place to stay, it'll be a crying shame. Oh, it's been 29 years, not a damn thing has changed. But now I'm heading back to Tulsa without $1 to my name. I'll feel 30 by the time I hit 25. And hopefully by 60 I am still alive. Let me rest in the place where the streets are gold and dine at the table where the stories are told. Well, I'll feel 30 by the time I hit 25. But for now I'm heading back to Tulsa without $1 to my name. If I can't find a place to stay, it'll be a crying shame. Oh, it's been 29 years, not a damn thing has changed. But now I'm heading back to Tulsa without $1 to my name. Don't you threaten the devil with your love. Just be a God-fearing man of the man up above. Because that fire will burn off all of your skin for living that life that was full of sin. Don't you threaten the devil, don't you threaten him with your love. But for now I'm heading back to Tulsa without $1 to my name. If I can't find a place to stay, it'll be a crying shame. Oh, it's been 29 years, not a damn thing has changed. But now I'm heading back to Tulsa without $1 to my name. Back to Tulsa without $1 to my name. If I can't find a place to stay, it'll be a crying shame. Oh, it's been 29 years, not a damn thing has changed. But now I'm heading back to Tulsa without $1 to my name. I'm heading back to Tulsa without $1 to my name.